I beg, please. Agent, 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 agent. I need more information before I can transfer you to an agent. Agent, agent. What are you calling about, sir? Agent, agent. And then eventually they disconnect you. You can't even get a good meal for two people for under $60. I think $60 would be considered low. It's a new trend, to screw people out of every penny they can. Las Vegas is the best at it. Okay, the things that I hate most about this time living is technology. I know it makes everything easier. I understand. But that's if you were born with it. Imagine if you weren't born with it and you have to learn all these technologies that you have no idea. For instance, when my computer breaks down, how do I know it's not user error? How do I know my computer is really broken? When I have to download shit, how do I know what I'm doing? I don't know what I'm doing, and no one wants to help me. You have to hire young people to help you to do simple tasks, apps, this and that. You can't even do things without an app. You can't even book anything without an app. You can't even go to your doctor without filling out something online. Nothing is easy anymore. What happened to paper? What happened to pens? What happened to filling out things that way? A fax machine, which was very popular at one time, I don't even think people fax me anymore. Maybe I get like 3 faxes a month. Things have changed in the wrong way. And then talking to these stupid computerized, stupid-ass voice-activated things, and then you beg it, I beg, please, agent, 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 agent. I need more information before I can transfer you to an agent. Agent, agent. What are you calling about, sir? Agent, agent. And then eventually they disconnect you. They don't even give a fuck. They just disconnect you if you don't follow their rules. I hate it. What's easier now? You know what's easier? What I like now is I like Waymo cars. I can't wait till I get into a car and drives me the fuck around. I don't ever want to be driving anymore. I want to go to San Diego in a car that drives me. That's what I really want. That's my dream in life, is to go in a car. Oh, what's worse now? Going to an airport and going through security. They could kiss my ass with this shit. What do they think is going to be in my 3-ounce bottle? Why do I have to go through a 3.4-ounce bottle? They take out my shit from my bag like I'm a criminal. I mean, I'm already TSA approved and all my shit if I got 1 ounce over. Also, I hate baggage. I hate baggage fees. I hate having to pay for a bag. Fuck you, charging me for a bag. Fuck you and fuck your airline. I hate it. And then they put my bag in a sizer. And then I also hate people who take tons of shit in their plane with them. They got a backpack, they got a bag on top of that, and they try to stuff it in there, and then just to save 20 or 30 bucks, fuck them. Better in the past was things were just more simple, man. I think people were just communicating better, more face-to-face communication, more live interaction, and everything. I do depositions via Zoom. I mean, I can't even see the person I'm deposing. I got to go by Zoom. I think that made it worse. I think communication in general is worse. What is better about today? Travel is easier. I mean, traveling online and booking things some things are easy to do online, like booking an airline ticket, things of that nature. But what is easier now? Uber. Uber is one of the great inventions. I love Uber. You need a ride, you got an option. You can go on Uber, you can go on Waymo, you can do all that shit. We never had that. We used to have to call a taxi, and taxis were always expensive, always. And I'm not saying they were bad, it's just they were expensive. And in New York, where I grew up, they had attitude. Although my father drove a taxi, he did. He had a lot of businesses, but he did drive a taxi. Matter of fact, one day I was stuck in Manhattan. This is, I was poor, so God only knows. My cars were like shit boxes with that. You could put the key in and drive, but God knows if it would start. And I was in Manhattan, and my car was barely going. And the battery was dying, and it was snowing out, and it was just a terrible time. And I thought, oh, fuck, I'm going to be doomed here. I don't have money to pay a tow or anything like that. I need a boost. And, in New York, these taxi drivers wouldn't give you a boost unless you gave them money. You can't go, hey man, my car is stalled out here, can you give me a boost? Oh no. They wouldn't do shit for you unless you gave them money, and I didn't have enough money. And I believe I was getting real nervous because when it's cold and your car don't start and there's no cell phone, you're fucked. And my father shows up in his taxi. I hadn't seen my father ever in Manhattan. That particular day, my father drives by, sees me, and saves my ass. So just think, there was no cell phone, there was no Waymo, there was no Uber, there was just no way out of there for me. I was just stuck in the freezing cold of Manhattan, and I would have probably, I'm not saying I would freeze to death, but if you ever got stuck in a snowstorm and you didn't have a cell phone and you didn't have a payphone nearby, what would you do? To think about it. You're in the middle of nowhere. There's snow. You're freezing. Your car is fucked up. You have no AAA because you can't get to a phone. And it's snowing, so you got to find a payphone in the snow, put money in with your hands freezing. It's a complete disaster. Your car don't run, and you got to find this, and then they got to get to your car before you freeze to death. You could die in the cold. As a matter of fact, a story like that, I was a young kid and I was kind of stupid, so I never had a mechanic check out my cars. Now, I'm going to warn all of you, if you ever buy a car without having a mechanic look at it, go have your head examined immediately. Go fucking open up your brain and look through your ears, because you don't have a brain. These people are not selling you great cars. They're selling you shit cars with problems most of the time. I bought this car. It was a 69 Firebird orange. It looked like Guy Fieri's car in the color-wise, but it didn't run like it. And I remember I was at my tennis club. It was called Paddock and Racket Club in Canarsie. And I was the last person out of the club. And the security guard had left, the last person who had the keys left. And instead of me using my brain and saying, hey, wait for me to see if my car starts, I didn't do that. And he had already driven away, so I couldn't get back into the club where the only payphone was available. So I was in a huge parking lot that, believe me, there was no way out of this parking lot without trudging through snow to try find a payphone, which I don't think I could have ever found. And I remember opening my car, and it was a Camaro 69, and it gave me nothing but problems. It was a fucking nightmare from the minute I owned it. Matter of fact, in Brooklyn, people would remove parts of it and leave my car with radiator missing, battery missing, all kinds of shit. They had no mercy on this car in Brooklyn. And I remember when I walked to the car, I thought, why did I tell that security guard to wait for me? What was the matter with me? And I remember I opened the door, and when you open the door in a cold car, you feel the snow and you could breathe. Your breath is all smoky. When I'm putting my key in the car, I remember thinking, please, God, please. And the car started. And that car started probably 75% of the time it started, 25% it didn't. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And I made it out of there. But I thought, as I was in the car, I started realizing I could die or get seriously hurt here, because if this car didn't start, to get to some place where I could get home without Uber and Lyft, and Waymo didn't exist at that time, I would have to find a payphone somewhere or a cab in the snowstorm in Brooklyn. It ain't happening, okay? So you're much safer now, You're much safer now with these things. What is easier now? Easier now is communication. That's easier. You can always find, look, I'm going to tell you a story, and this just happened to me. I once had a girlfriend, and I'm not saying a girlfriend, but, we'll call it a situationship, since I learned a new word today, or something like that, where, friends with benefits type of thing. And I remember her boyfriend was calling her, and, she wasn't very loyal. And I remember her saying to him, hello? She was tapping her phone. Hello? I can't hear you. I don't have a reception where I am. I don't have any reception. I'll get back to you. So I learned that, and so I've seen deception, cell phone deception. Like when I have a girlfriend and I want to do a FaceTime with her and she doesn't FaceTime me or want to FaceTime me, I'm never really thinking I just not sure what she's doing. FaceTime is the way to find out. If you really want to know where your girlfriend and boyfriend is doing, make a rule. Every time I call you on FaceTime, you need to pick up and you need to FaceTime me. Because once that happens, cheating is over. People cheat with cell phone cheating. I'm not saying. Also, what I like is tracking. I actually like the fact that people can track you. I like that. Not that I track anyone. I could care less. If you're going to cheat on me, go ahead. But I think things are easier now. I'm just trying to think. Oh, ordering food, takeout food. You can order any restaurant you want. That is a good thing. The only problem is when you order from these stupid apps, you order a pizza, it comes out to be $50. So what's the point? A $50 pizza and it comes to you cold. Frozen fucking cold. I ordered a pizza, it cost me $50, it was frozen cold. I could have bought a $7 pizza at the grocery store and had it would have been better, it would have been hot. What's a cold pizza? And the guy came, I think it cost me $50 for this pizza. That's ridiculous. If you're gonna do food apps, at least be reasonable on the prices. Otherwise, who wants to order it? You know what's the worst thing about now? It's eating out. The cost of food now, and I'm not saying it's to do anything with anything. I don't know whose fault it is, but you can't even get a good meal for 2 people for under $60. I think $60 would be considered low. I went to a restaurant and I got a sandwich. And I used to get sandwich and they used to give you coleslaw. So I said, can I get the sandwich and the coleslaw? Oh no, now the coleslaw costs money. Sandwiches is individual. So now I all of a sudden paid more for it. It's a new trend, to screw people out of every penny they can. I think Las Vegas is the best at it. Everything was a ripoff. I went to get a bottle of water. I went to get a Starbucks and a bottle of water. I think it was $20. I think some ridiculous amount I'm a lawyer and I don't want to complain about money because I do make some money sometimes, but my whole goal in life is not to make money off my clients. My whole goal in life is to do the right thing.